So AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, is demanding that Tulsi Gabbard apologize to Ilhan Omar for her smear on Omar revolving around the fake Project Veritas story about ballot harvesting. Now, what AOC said in a tweet just a little bit ago is, at Tulsi Gabbard, you, along with everyone else who amplified this fraudulent story, owe Representative Omar a public apology. And it's referring to new reporting from a Minnesota Fox News affiliate that basically Project Veritas was trying to bribe people to lie about Ilhan Omar. And I'm just going to play you a brief excerpt of that interview showing this.
It's insane.
Overnight, it seems, Ilhan Omar became a symbol for massive voter fraud in Minnesota and America. Just one problem, he says: the allegations are a fabrication. The video manipulated after he turned down a bribe.
How much was he willing to pay you?
$10,000.
$10,000 to lie and to say that you were collecting ballots for Ilhan Omar.
Yes.
Ilhan Omar is featured prominently in this video by the right-wing disinformation group Project Veritas. But all of this fits the Project Veritas MO, according to Stanford researchers, who say it appears to be a coordinated disinformation campaign. James O'Keefe meeting with Trump's Minnesota campaign chair, Mike Lindahl of MyPillow fame, right before the story was rushed out to compete with the New York Times blockbuster on President Trump's income taxes. Trump himself has tweeted and talked about the Project Veritas investigation as a cautionary tale of voter fraud.
So what you can see is that through a mixture of attempted bribery and splicing together people's other videos and misrepresenting through editing, they tried to concoct a story which everyone involved is trying to back down on, that showed apparently that Ilhan Omar and her team were bribing people to vote for her and using the mail-in voting system to do so. To do two things. To one, attack Ilhan Omar as a vocal member of the left within Congress, and two, to feed into this narrative that mail-in voting is unsafe. And of course, this intensified the already ugly attacks on Ilhan Omar from rank-and-file conservatives in a lot of cases, but even the president himself, who has often said that Ilhan Omar has no right to criticize him or the United States because it's not her country, that she is bad because she is criticizing his country and other white people's country. That's the implication from the president. And by trying to essentially associate fraud and voter suppression and voter fraud to Ilhan Omar, Trump can build this sort of narrative to potentially steal the election in November by saying, look, Project Veritas proved that these mail-in votes are fraudulent. They're being bought. They're being harvested illegally. And this is, a travesty of democracy. We have to exclude all the mail-in ballots. And that's bad enough. And Project Veritas deserves no credibility, and it has none. But Tulsi Gabbard, of all people, came out last week and made a video saying the Project Veritas people have shown us the dangers of ballot harvesting, and we should take their documentary, their video seriously and pass my bipartisan legislation, which will limit the ability of people to ballot harvest. And she basically seized this video as an opportunity to attack ballot harvesting and pump up her own legislation and basically do the work of Donald Trump to delegitimize the election. Now, Tulsi in her clip does not mention, or at least does not directly mention, Ilhan Omar, but she knows by watching the video, it's never with Project Veritas or the right about actual voter sanctity. It isn't. It's about two things in that clip: tying xenophobic beliefs around Ilhan Omar to, attacks on Donald Trump, to basically say these foreign, operatives are trying to steal the election from real Americans, and two, to attack mail-in voting. That it's not really about ballot harvesting. They don't care about that. It's about delegitimizing the entire process of mail-in voting to help Republicans steal the election, because most mail-in voters are going to be voting for Joe Biden if you look at the polls, if you look at the polling about how people are planning to vote, at least at this stage. And Tulsi should have known better. And so there's two options here. Either she didn't know better and she was just haplessly commenting, a sitting congresswoman, I know she's not running again, but she's still in Congress, just amplifying witlessly right-wing conspiracy theories about a colleague, about, somebody that's already vilified unfairly, or she knew exactly what she was doing and she was willing to throw Ilhan Omar under the bus for her own political objectives. I don't know what Tulsi's goal is. I don't know if her goal is to leave Congress and, try to make money on right-wing talk shows and try to make money as a converted liberal who's now a conservative, or try to make money on, these conspiratorial networks. I don't know what it is, but I certainly know that she's not furthering the cause of voter sanctity or democracy by engaging in these conspiracy theories. AOC is right. Tulsi Gabbard, at the very least, owes an apology to Ilhan Omar. And frankly, she owes an apology to every person that depends upon mail-in voting to have their voice heard.